Welcome to The Deep Dive, where we explore compelling stories and uncover their most valuable insights. Okay, think about a symphony orchestra for a second. That incredible power, the precision, just the sheer magic of hearing it live. It's the result of, countless hours of practice for sure, but also amazing teamwork, a clear vision, and, dedicated people working tirelessly behind the scenes. Today, we're actually pulling back that curtain. We're taking a deep dive into some really exciting recent news from Symphonicity, the Symphony Orchestra of Virginia Beach. You've shared some great sources with us. We've got bits from their offstage podcast and also a pretty detailed press release about their leadership. So our mission today is to unpack these updates, especially as Symphonicity is celebrating its 45th anniversary season. We want to get beyond just what's happening and really understand why these moves are so significant, for the orchestra and for the wider arts community too. Get ready, because you'll find out how a modern symphony is about way more than just music. It's about innovation, community, and honestly, some partnerships you might never expect. All right, kicking us off. Let's talk about this familiar face who's making a welcome return to the Symphonicity staff. Christine Gundayo, she's their new assistant librarian. This feels like more than just a new hire, doesn't it? It's got a real homecoming vibe.
It absolutely does. Christine's own story is like woven into the orchestra's history. She actually played violin with them decades ago. This was back when they were still called the Virginia Beach Symphony Orchestra. That kind of deep personal connection, well, it really says a lot about the lasting appeal of an organization like Symphonicity. After a pretty extensive career as a violinist, playing with orchestras all over the country, she's now back. And she's bringing all that valuable experience to the really complex operations behind the curtain.
And the sources mentioned a fun little detail. She actually took third place in the Utah State Fiddling Championship.
Yeah.
That's some serious versatility. It kind of highlights the range of talent that goes into making an orchestra work, even in the administrative roles.
It really does. So after she got her master's of music and violin performance and built her career elsewhere, she eventually moved back to Virginia Beach. She rejoined the orchestra in 2020. And now, as assistant librarian, she's working side by side with the lead librarian, Paula Bonds. She's helping make sure every single note, every score, is just meticulously managed. Right. It's a good reminder, isn't it, that the magic you see on stage really depends heavily on a dedicated team making sure everything is exactly where it needs to be.
Absolutely. And building on that idea of, lasting connections and strategic vision, let's shift to what's probably the biggest news here. That's the extension of music director Daniel W. Boothe contract all the way through the 2031 season. That's a massive commitment.
It really is. An extension like that. Through 2031, it's not just a pat on the back. It's a clear statement about long-term strategic vision. Boothe's been in the role since 2017, remember, after winning that big 2-year international search. So this ensures continuity. It lets him really build on what's already been over 8 years of innovation.
Yeah.
This kind of stability, it allows for those really ambitious multi-year projects, things you just couldn't tackle with a shorter contract. It fosters deep artistic direction, deep community ties. The press release specifically calls out his impact on innovation, bold community partnerships, and notable elevation of artistic quality.
So for you listening, if you're interested in what helps an organization thrive, this kind of leadership stability is a really strong sign. It points towards sustained future growth and honestly exciting things for the arts in Virginia Beach. It definitely provides that foundation for the orchestra to really, flourish.
Okay, so with that long-term commitment locked in, how specifically has Symphonicity evolved under Boothe? What does this actually mean for the music itself and, its impact? A key insight here is seeing how Symphonicity has genuinely blossomed under his leadership. It's transformed into what the sources are calling one of America's premier community orchestras.
Premier community orchestra.
Okay. And this isn't just about playing the notes perfectly. It's about lifting both the performance quality and making it more accessible. We've seen real results like record subscription numbers and overall concert attendance going up. That shows a genuine connection happening with the community.
And it sounds like they're not just sticking to the old standards, right? The orchestra's world premiered, 7 new works and commissioned 3 more?
Precisely. And the real insight there, I think, is how they're not just commissioning stuff passively. They're actively weaving these new pieces into a bigger story.
Right.
A great example is that upcoming Virginia Beach Symphony by the composer Eric Stem that's premiering in November. It's this shift, from just commissioning to actively telling stories around new music. That's what really elevates a community orchestra, making new music feel exciting, not scary.
Right. Makes sense.
And this forward-thinking approach, it's earned them some serious recognition, too. Awards like Veer Magazine's Album of the Year that was for a collaboration with Jay Sinnott, and Best Ballet Performance of the Year with Ballet Virginia. Plus, their recordings get regular airtime on WHRO Classical FM radio.
And the praise from some big names is pretty telling as well. You've got Joanne Falletta, the conductor, describing a performance as excellent, beautiful performance.
Right.
John Campbell, a reviewer, wrote dazzlingly well played. And Raymond Jones, the legendary host at WHRO Classical FM, even said Boothe has the gift, the real intuitive feel for how a piece should be done. That's high praise indeed.
It really is. And taken together, all these accolades, they paint this picture of an orchestra that's not just playing well, but deeply connecting with audiences, connecting with critics. It suggests an experience that feels vibrant, forward-looking, and just really impactful. It makes each concert feel special for anyone who goes.
But it's not just about what happens on the stage itself, is it? Your sources point to some really unique, kind of bold partnerships. These seem to really push the envelope of what a symphony can even be.
Absolutely. That's one of the most fascinating parts of Boothe's time there, I think. How he sort of reimagined the whole symphony concert experience. It's way more than just a traditional performance now. These innovations show a real commitment to reaching new audiences, adapting to, the world around them. Like, remember during the pandemic, they came up with those walkthrough concerts at the Virginia Museum of Contemporary Art.
Oh, yeah.
What a clever way to let people experience music safely back then.
And then there's that binaural recording of Handel's entire Messiah. Now, for anyone listening who doesn't know, binaural audio uses 2 mics to create this amazing 3D sound, makes it feel like you're literally right there. That sounds incredibly ambitious for any orchestra, let alone a community one.
It totally was. And get this, it's thought to be the only known binaural recording of the complete work anywhere in the world. This kind of audacious project, it was even published alongside a book, The Soul Feels Its Worth, by Hilary Schenk. It speaks to this multi-sensory, cross-disciplinary thing they're doing, really stretching the definition of a musical performance. And then, the beer collaboration with Three Notched Brewing Company. Okay,
a beer collaboration with a symphony. I have to admit, that's not the first pairing that jumps to mind. How did they make that work so well? What was the secret?
It was honestly brilliant, just meeting people where they already are, They created this limited edition beer, and its character actually reflected the orchestra's programming for that season. You could get it in local stores, restaurants. This really unconventional partnership, it didn't just put Symphonicity into new social scenes. It actually helped lead to Three Notched opening a brewery restaurant right there in town center. Yeah. It's all about making the arts feel relevant, accessible to, more people in the community. And beyond those big things, Boothe has really shaken up the concert experience itself. Tastefully adding multimedia, special lighting, effects.
Right.
Positioning players sometimes 360 degrees around the audience.
Oh, the 360 setup. Yeah, I read that. That sounds amazing.
Exactly. And encouraging actual conversations from the stage.
I especially love that detail about large paintings being created live on stage during a performance. That's truly immersive, right? It turns a concert into this multi-art event. It really shows how Symphonicity is tearing down old barriers and inviting you, the listener, to experience classical music in totally fresh, maybe even surprising ways.
Exactly. And Boothe's leadership has also been this powerful catalyst for broader collaboration. They featured, I think, up to 6 other arts organizations in their performances.
6 other?
Yeah, plus tons of local artists, schools, universities. It creates this really vibrant, interconnected art scene. Makes the symphony feel like this dynamic, living thing, deeply woven into the community.
And it seems like Symphonicity influence isn't just staying local either. Your sources mention global recognition. For a community orchestra, that's quite something.
It really is impressive, getting noticed around the world. And then receiving that letter from Virginia Beach's cultural affairs director, that was about planning an international trip to a sister city Ards in North Down Borough in Northern Ireland.
Their first international trip.
Yeah. It points to this truly remarkable rise onto the global stage. Like the British-Argentine composer Polo Piai said, it is a great orchestra, directed by an exceptional conductor, Maestro Daniel W. Boothe. And this global notice, it also comes partly from their smart use of digital innovation.
Ah, right. They've really leaned into technology, haven't they? A leader in live streaming.
They are. Apparently, they're the only orchestra in the region offering all their main indoor concerts with multi-camera setups and professional audio. And it's produced live, right from their home at the Sandler Center for the Performing Arts. That capability had just massively broadened their reach. It means audiences, potentially from anywhere in the world, can tune in and experience a world-class performance. This kind of digital leadership really helps make classical music accessible, regardless of where you happen to be.
It's so clear that Daniel Boothe's impact goes way beyond just the conductor's podium, isn't it? He's really more than just a music director.
He certainly is, and that's an interesting angle, actually, the sort of multifaceted nature of his contributions. This isn't just a guy directing music. He's a leader who's deeply involved in different parts of community service. And that, in turn, really amplifies his impact on Symphonicity. He lives right there in Chesapeake with his wife and 5 kids, so he's deeply rooted locally. But beyond that, he serves as a military officer in the Air National Guard. He's the chief of public affairs for the 192nd Wing of the Virginia Air National Guard.
Wow, a military officer and a symphony conductor. That's a pretty unique combination of leadership roles. How do you think those different experiences might shape his approach with Symphonicity?
Well, you'd imagine it brings this unique mix of, say, discipline, strategic communication skills maybe, and a strong community focus right into his artistic leadership.
Makes sense.
And his civic engagement doesn't stop there. He's also served as a fine arts commissioner for Chesapeake City, and he's on the board for Hampton Roads Jazz Incorporated. You can really hear his commitment in his own words from the press release. He said, "I'm very happy to serve this wonderful organization for 6 more years, which has truly been a team effort. Together, we will climb higher with our standards, reach further with our outreach, and dream even bigger with the community support, all through the love of music." It's a good reminder for us, that real leadership in the arts often comes from people who are just deeply committed to their community in all sorts of ways, not just the musical ones.
So as you, listening, think about Symphonicity journey, from those walkthrough concerts to brewing beer, and now this upcoming season celebrating American voices, what unexpected places or maybe partnerships do you think classical music could explore next? How can it keep its unique magic alive and relevant for generations to come?
This podcast was produced by Symphonicity, the Symphony Orchestra of Virginia Beach, Virginia. To get tickets or to learn more about their concerts and events, visit symphonicity.org.